EU leaders get tough on migration policy and agree to outsource asylum returns to third countries.
Almost 1,000 days since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia, Latvia is on edge.
Mixed feelings in Moldova ahead of Sunday's referendum on whether the country should join the European Union.
Tech tycoon Elon Musk held his first solo event in support of Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump.
EU leaders wrapped up a long summit in Brussels agreeing to outsource asylum returns policy to third countries outside the European Union. The controversial proposals represent a major, tougher shift in EU migration policy. In particular, EU countries want to focus on the deportations of asylum seekers whose claims have been denied.
One of the main discussion points was a common approach to returns. Today, we see that all those who have no right to stay in the European Union, only 20% of those who have a return decision really are returned to their countries of origin.
Leaders also discussed potential responses to hybrid attacks from outside actors in Russia and Belarus, which have sent innocent migrants to the borders of Finland and more recently Poland in a plan to destabilise the countries. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk suspended the right to asylum, a cornerstone policy of international refugee law, in response to the Belarusian attack.
A completely different situation is the pressure that Poland is experiencing at the eastern land borders. And before Poland, it was Finland, it were the Baltic states. What we see is that Putin and Lukashenko are exerting pressure on us, trying to undermine our security and our territorial integrity. These are hybrid attacks by state actors. And therefore, Poland and other member states need to be able to protect our union from these hybrid attacks.
What's clear is this is a whole new world for asylum policy and the European Union. What's not clear is how these return hubs will actually work. In particular, what happens to those asylum seekers who have had their claims denied when they're sent to third countries, and can their basic rights under international law be guaranteed? Shona Murray, Euronews, Brussels.
Almost 1,000 days since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia, Latvia is on edge. The Baltic state and its almost 2 million people share a 300-kilometre border with Russia. So security and self-defence have become the -- 1 issue for the country and the main talking point at this year's Riga conference.
What they are trying as well to do, split us as societally, split us in between politicians. So this, I do think, is the biggest danger for all of us. I believe Russia at the moment is an extremely weak situation. So for us, if we would understand how big and strong we are, they have zero chances.
The government reintroduced military service last year. A lottery now decides which men from 18 to 27 have to sign up for 11 months. The aim, have 4,000 trained soldiers by 2028.
So it is a great part of integrating naturally security-related questions within society. And that there is no dividing line between society and military. We are the same family.
Here in the capital of Riga, you can feel just how despised the Russian president is. This vile picture of Vladimir Putin is hanging on a popular museum, and it's just a stone's throw from the Russian embassy.
People in Moldova head to the polls on Sunday to choose their next president and to vote in a referendum on whether the country should join the European Union. Opinion is split on whether joining the EU will provide the bright future supporters of the idea suggest. And some Moldovans prefer to maintain a cordial relationship with Russia.
Acest referendum are cu adevărat chiar o valoare existențială pentru noi, pentru cetățenii moldoveni, fiindcă va determina alegerile de civilizație pentru statul nostru și pentru societatea moldovenească. Noi cu adevărat suntem europeni, în sensul că aderăm la civilizația europeană, sau continuăm să rămânem sovietici și aparținem unei civilizații care a plecat în istorie.
Authorities in Moldova have sounded the alarm that Russia is trying to swing the election away from EU membership. Chisinau estimates that Russia has spent as much as €100 million to undermine the electoral process, including through coordinated disinformation campaigns designed to sway or suppress the vote. On Thursday, Moldova's Prime Minister advised voters to remain vigilant.
De voi, dragi cetățeni, depinde să opriți atacul asupra democrației. Duminică voi faceți alegerea. Ne întoarcem în trecut, singuri, fără resurse pentru dezvoltare, vulnerabili în fața provocărilor sau mergem în viitor, în familia țărilor civilizate.
Majoritatea tinerilor care am vorbit aici la Chișinău au spus că își doresc ca țara să facă parte din structurile europene. Pentru ei, integrarea europeană înseamnă locuri mai bune de muncă, dar și o realizare mai bună profesională. Moldovenii așteaptă în primul rând creșterea salariilor și investiții mai bune în infrastructură, în special în infrastructura rutieră.
Despite its detractors, recent polls put support among Moldovans for EU membership at around 60%.
Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko dismissed her as a housewife. But when the Belarusian opposition leader Svetlana Tikhanovskaya entered the race for presidency in 2020, she became his greatest challenge. Now that she is in exile, she continues her fight for a free, democratic Belarus. We met her in Berlin.
So you would say the Belarusian opposition is united. You work, so you don't have any obstacles within your organization, so to say.
Belarusian democratic forces and people are united as never before because we have our common aim is release of our beloved, our friends from prisons, release of our political prisoners, but also having free and fair elections.
Political prisoner exchange with Russia. Not one Belarusian prisoner, political prisoner came out. Since then, have there been any progress in your negotiations with politicians from the European Union?
We all want them to be released, but we don't want our political prisoners, our heroes, to be bargaining chips, in this Lukashenko's game. They are taking more and more hostages, to sell them more expensive. But we are asking our democratic partners that don't trade, don't make any deals with Lukashenko, don't trade, because he can sell 100, 200, 300 people and he will detain twice more. As it was recently, Lukashenko released 115 people. For the same period of time, he detained 140.
Can I ask you a personal question? What is it that you miss the most about Belarus?
Look, I miss everything. I miss my apartment that had been confiscated, but this was our nest of our family. I miss my husband, of course, but I want to see free Belarus.
Der belarussische Präsident Alexander Lukaschenko will bei den Präsidentschaftswahlen im Februar 2025 erneut antreten. Doch die belarussische Opposition ist stärker denn je, sagt die belarussische Oppositionelle Svetlana Tikhanovskaya. Sie will die Beziehungen zu Deutschland stärken und kämpft mehr denn je für ein freies Belarus. Diana Resnick aus Berlin für Euronews.
Tech tycoon Elon Musk held his first solo event in support of Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump on Thursday. The billionaire founder of Tesla and SpaceX spoke at a town hall event in Pennsylvania and encouraged locals to vote early in the key US battleground state.
We want secure borders. We want safe cities. Sensible spending so that we don't have crazy inflation. We want freedom of speech. We want the Constitution to be upheld. And I'm being told at times that these are like right-wing values. I'm like, are you insane? There's literally the fundamental values that made America what it is today.
Musk has reportedly poured $75 million into securing Trump's win, including promising money to Pennsylvanians who sign a conservative political petition. The US presidential election is scheduled for the 5th of November.
At least 22 people have been injured after a bus veered off the road and crashed in the western Turkish province of Afyonkarahisar. Local media said the accident happened on a highway in the province 250 kilometers southwest of the capital, Ankara. The bus was carrying a party of Japanese tourists and the cause of the crash wasn't immediately clear. All of the injured passengers, including one in a life-threatening condition, have been taken to local hospitals.
Thousands of attendees are flooding Paris's historic Grand Palais for 2 days of Art Basel Paris Fair previews. More than 190 international galleries are exhibiting works by some of the industry's biggest names, such as pop art pioneer Andy Warhol to polka dot proliferator Yayoi Kusuma.
It is very fair to say it's been a very eventful year for us. We changed names, we changed the venue. The venue is much more, glorious and magnificent, and we could add 41 galleries, so it's a substantial change for us.
The event comes as Paris cements itself as one of Europe's leading art sales capitals. One arts publicity and consultancy organisation representative says this was buoyed due to Britain leaving the EU in 2020.
Brexit played a part, of course, because then Paris became more attractive to some of the people in the art business. It's not the main reason, though. We had a very strong cultural landscape here as well. We have new museums opening every year. We have new dealers setting up shop in Paris every year.
Art Basel Paris opens to the public on Saturday and Sunday, with many able to see the best and most colourful pieces of performance art, installations, paintings and more of the last century.